Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday, the 30th of October 2021. Today was match day. The team travelled up to Huddersfield and they narrowly lost to a late goal. But it seems that it was coming. They attacked and attacked and attacked, and it was bound to happen that they would have scored sooner or later. So let's have a read of the match report from news@den.co.uk. And it says Jonathan Hogg headed home an 82nd minute winner as Millwall condemned to a close fought defeat in the hands of Championship playoff rivals Huddersfield Town. In a game with few genuine goal scoring opportunities, the Terriers skipper sent a neat glancing header past Bartosz Białkowski from Sorba Thomas' corner to break the Lions' spirited resistance. A point would not have been undeserved for Gary Rowett's men, but they lacked a cutting edge up front throughout, and Hogg's goal proved the difference. The result was a blow to the Lions' hopes of a top 6 finish as they slipped to 12th, while Huddersfield climbed to 5th. Rowett made one change to the side which beat Stoke at home last weekend, with George Saville coming back in for the injured George Evans. All of those players returned to Huddersfield. On a beautiful sun-kissed afternoon in Yorkshire, the Lions soon warmed to their task against the Terriers side, who had begun to command respect this season. Spanish boss Carlos Corberán endured a difficult debut campaign in Chad last term after quitting Leeds United, where he served as Marcelo Bielsa's assistant. But like Millwall, they have emerged as genuine playoff contenders this term. In the 4th minute, the Lions' master craftsman Jed Wallace showed impressive skill to cut in from the left flank, and he hit a shot which warmed the hands of Huddersfield keeper Lee Nichols. Moments later, Town midfielder Lewis O'Brien, a summer transfer target for Bielsa at Leeds, engineered the space to strike at Białkowski's goal, but his effort drifted wide. The match resembled a contrast of styles, the Lions' aggressive physical approach making it difficult for the Terriers to play their usual free-flowing game. Corberán has adopted the high press, possession-based game that his mentor Bielsa has deployed to such great effect at Elland Road. Yet Millwall were the more threatening team in the opening quarter here, and Wallace connected with Ryan Lamb's right-wing cross, but failed to direct his header towards goal. A huge chance came for Huddersfield in the 16th minute though, when Thomas crossed dangerously to Danny Ward, who skied the ball over the crossbar when well placed. It was a let-off for the Lions, and 10 minutes later Ward almost made amends for his miss and a thunderous left shot from 25 yards. Białkowski could only parry the ball clear. Thankfully for Millwall, there was no Town player on hand to fire home the loose ball as the danger was cleared. Shortly before the interval, the impressive O'Brien went close again, when he cleverly worked the ball onto his weaker right foot before striking a fierce shot, fizzing just wide of the far post. In truth, the opening 45 minutes were characterised by some of the endless industry that so typifies the Championship. The touch of class needed to break the deadlock was sadly lacking, but Huddersfield almost reached their visitors' net 3 times in the second half. Corner kick from the right was flicked on by Hogg and found defender Matty Pearson at the far post. The centre half struck a left-footed shot from 6 yards, which looked destined to find the net, but Białkowski produced a superb save to keep the ball out. Millwall replaced Shea Yojo with Mikael Kevenveld at the interval, but they struggled to pose much of a threat on the host goal as the second half unfolded. Well, no doubt, because Shea Yojo is an attacking player and Kevenveld isn't. So why would we produce more chances? Huddersfield went close in the 65th minute when the instrumental O'Brien drove at the art on the Mill defence through midfield. He slipped a clever pass through to Daniel Sinani, who in turn found Dwayne Holmes. Holmes found the unmarked Thomas on the right hand side of the penalty box, but he blazed high and wide over the crossbar. There was a nagging suspicion that the Terriers would eventually make the breakthrough, and so it proved with just 8 minutes remaining. It came after Ward's fierce shot was expertly cleared off the line by Lions captain Sean Hutchinson as the visitors scrambled the ball clear. From the resultant corner on the left flank, Thomas delivered the ball right-footed, and Hogg was on hand to evade the Millwall defence, nod past Białkowski at the near post. Millwall failed to muster a response as Huddersfield threatened to add a second on the counter-attack, but in the end, Hogg's header proved the difference. There seems to be ratings here. I don't know why. So the team for Millwall was Biakowski, Leonard, Ballard, Hutchinson, Cooper, Malone, Mitchell, Saville, Jed Wallace, Bradshaw, Ojo, and the subs were Smith for Ballard. If you check the time, 83rd minute, they scored in the 82nd minute. So that was a reactionary substitution. We were drawing. This is good. I am Gary Rowett. I like drawing. This is good. This is fine. Oh no, Huddersfield scored. Quick, bring Matt Smith on. So we can go from losing to drawing again because I like drawing and I'm Gary Rowett. Phoebe came on in the 72nd minute, like for Bradshaw, and Kifton Beld for Ojo, which I have no idea what the hell that was about. I will find out when I watch them a full match replay. Unused subs were Long, Murray Wallace, Pearce, and Bennett. Okay. Interesting. So there you go. That's the match report. I've seen the highlights and didn't go to the game. I watched the highlights and followed the second half on the radio. It just seemed a constant stream of Huddersfield attacks on the Millwall goal. And how many shots can you defend? 10, 11, 12? Sooner or later one of them is going to go in. And it did. It was bound to happen. It was literally bound to happen. Millwall boss critical of defending for Huddersfield, late winner. So Gary Rowett's been having a chat and pointing the fingers at various people. So where's he pointing the finger this week? So this is from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Millwall boss critical of defending for Huddersfield, late winner. Gary Rowett was disappointed with the manner in which Millwall conceded Huddersfield's winning goal. Millwall had defended well up until that point. Indeed, because they were facing a constant onslaught of Huddersfield attacks. Rowett said, when you come away from home to a place like this, there is going to be small margins in the game. We started really well for 15 minutes and then for 30 minutes after that, Huddersfield movement caused us some problems. O'Brien and Holmes were bright behind Ward in those gaps in our midfield and we found it difficult to get to grips with. Bart had to make a couple of saves, but I can't think of any real clear-cut chances they had. It was a lot of cutbacks and block shots. The home side dominated possession in the first half with more than 60% of the ball, but never really troubled the Lions' defence. The Terriers are also a team that like to play out from the back. They were pressed well by Mill's front three of Shay Ojo, Jed Wallace and Tom Bradshaw, but there was no link between them and the midfield duo of Billy Mitchell and George Saville, prompting the Lions chief into a half-time change. I was disappointed with the way we finished the half, said Rowett. We needed to change it. We needed an extra player in there at half-time. It did the trick. We certainly looked like we had a lot better structure. About 20 minutes before they scored, we were looking like the stronger team and actually looked as though we were the team in the ascendancy. To concede the goal in that manner is massively disappointing for a big side like us that pride ourselves on defending set pieces in a division where set pieces are so important. To concede a goal where Hogg is a player that ends up getting a free header in the 6-yard box clearly shouldn't happen. Okay. Moving on now. More comments from Gary Rowett. This is also from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. Millwall boss Gary Rowett felt ref denied them a Stonewall penalty kick in Huddersfield Town defeat. Gary Rowett was left fuming with referee Jeff Eltringham after he failed to award his Millwall side a late penalty in their 1-0 loss at Huddersfield Town. The ball appeared to strike the hand of Harry Toffolo after Ryan Leonard had shot towards the goal. Disappointed in the last minute as we should have had a clear penalty. I've watched it back on numerous occasions, said Rowett. Bennett does the lovely bit of skill, backheels it past the defender's legs to Lenny, who has a shot, and it's Toffolo. He turns his back and gets both his hands up and he deflected wide. The referee didn't feel like it was enough for a penalty. It was a clear penalty. I'll let people decide when they see it. The Lions went on to lose the game as Jonathan Hogg headed home a free header from inside the 6-yard box. Did our performance warrant us winning that game? Probably not, but I felt just before the 82nd minute we had done enough at that point to give us a really good chance, at the very least, of getting a points head route. So very disappointing to concede in a way we did. It's just the second defeat in 10 matches for Millwall, who are 3 points outside of the top 6. Before today, we were second, joint with Fulham, in the form chart in the Championship. I don't think it's necessarily inconsistent, said Rowett. We're a team that has to work really hard to win games in this division. If we don't do the right things, then we don't give ourselves a chance to do that. In the last 10 games, we have only lost to Luton and Huddersfield, but the way we have lost both of those games is disappointing. We always get to that point where we won 4 in 5. If we win today, then we've got 2 home games coming up and we seem to struggle to take that next step. So I would agree that those are the games you just have to go out and put your stamp on. Huddersfield are a good side. They've got really good home form, and they showed today at times they are a difficult team to play. It was a game we should have at least got a point out of, and a point and a clean sheet away from home I would have been happy with. A point and a clean sheet away from home I would have been happy with. So he was playing for 0-0. He was playing for 0-0. So all of you who paid your money to buy your tickets, put the petrol in the car to travel all the way out to Huddersfield, maybe you got the train up there. Gary Rowett was playing for a 0-0 draw. And he would have loved it if we got a 0-0 draw. So, what's happening there? Didn't even try and win the game. He only brought Matt Smith on when we were losing. It just doesn't go away, does it? You think we're getting better? It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. He was happy. He would be happy with a 0-0 draw. Fantastic. Maybe if you try and win the game, you would end up with a 0-0 draw. You try and defend for 45 minutes. I've just seen the highlights. Constant stream of attacks by Huddersfield, and there were barely any from Millwall. Maybe it was just the way the highlights were. I'll wait for the extended highlights, and then the full match replay on iFollow if you're a subscriber, which I will be watching tomorrow. And you can't defend for 45 minutes. It was a constant stream of attacks by Huddersfield, and we were very lucky. And we had to rely on Bart a couple of times to get us out of the shit. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on to something that isn't about all that nonsense. So this was put up this morning, early, maybe late last night, because it's dated the 29th. So I only saw it this morning. Arthur Penney joins Welling United on loan. So another player out on loan from the under-23s. Millwall under-23 centre-back Arthur Penney has joined Welling United on a 28-day youth loan. Penney, a regular for Kevin Nugent's development side, will join up with the Parkview Road outfit for the next month, and will hope to make his debut for the Wings as they host Billericay Town in the Vanarama National League South on Saturday afternoon, kick-off 3 PM. And he did indeed start that game. I think it was a win for Welling. Their manager is Peter Taylor. You know Peter Taylor, the former England guy. He was the manager for like one game, caretaker boss. He was the assistant to someone. Who was he assistant to? Kevin Keegan? I'm not too sure. But that Peter Taylor. So that Peter Taylor is managing Welling United. And he's signed Arthur Penney on loan. And he played today and he did alright, and that means we've now got about, 8 players out on loan who all variously played today. I know Alex Mitchell played, I know Isaac Lovey played, Hayden Muller actually played, and he kept a clean sheet for St Johnston, so that's good for him. who else played? I'm not too sure, but I'll bring you the loan watch on Monday, and it's gonna be a lot more now with another player out on loan, and he's quite a good player for the under 23. So here's a little tip for you if you like a bet. The under 23s now is kind of being decimated with all these players being out on loan, which you saw against Charlton when we lost to them quite heavily. But if you want to have a little bet in the next game, I think it's on Tuesday the 2nd, bet on the other team to beat Millwall, because if they've got all their players and all of ours are loaned out, we are a weakened under 23s team. So if you want to make a bit of money to spend on your trips to Millwall away games when the manager wants to play 0-0 draws, maybe consider that an option. There you go. This video is ending now. I thank you for watching, and goodbye.